The Most High is warning the prophets in this story. He basically warning the prophets that were under the tutelage of the righteous, and then they got tricked into following a cult, right? He's warning you what could happen when you leave that cult. That's what the rest of the story is talking about with Lot. A lot of people, when they leave these cults, right, even though they leave the physical location of the cult, right, their wife, which is their primary doctrine, turns back to the doctrine that they left. That person, even though they're not in that cult, they're still following the practices of the cult. That's what Lot did. After he left, he kept following the same doctrine. His wife turned back. That's what that's talking about. I know they got this thing over there. It's a pillar of salt that they got over there by Sodom and Gomorrah that they call Lot's wife. What the Most High did over there whenever he burnt that place up, hey, only he knows, right? But he's talking to you spiritually for today. He's explaining something to you. When Lot's wife, a woman, is a doctrine. A woman is a doctrine. When his wife turned back, she turned back. That wife is a thought in Lot's head, okay? A woman is a doctrine in Lot's head. She turned back to that doctrine. So when a lot of people leave these cults, they still follow the doctrine of the cult. Even though they're not around those people, they still believe what they learn in those cults. All right? So now, we're going to go to verse 30, right? This is after, his wife turned back and all that other stuff. She was turned into a pillar of salt. Okay. All that's telling you is he was still following the practices that he learned in Sodom. That's why a lot of people who leave these cults, these Israelite camps and such, they still follow the doctrines that they learned in those Israelite camps. Or if they was in this Christian ministry, they still follow the doctrines of that Christian ministry. Even though they left the place, they still believe somewhat what they were taught. All right. So, verse 30, and Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. So it's telling you he opened up another church. A lot of people, whenever they leave a lot of those Israelite camps, they open up new churches, right? So now, he opened up a church. That's what that cave is. A cave is a dwelling. He and his 2 daughters. Now, you about to get the understanding of what this here, about this so-called incest that happened with Lot and his daughters. Verse 31, and the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. Now, this thing is saying that, come, let us make our father drink wine. When the Bible talks about wine is a doctrine, all right? When somebody gets drunk, they drunk on a doctrine, a wicked doctrine, right? The Most High said you got to be sober. That means you got to follow his doctrine. It ain't talking about physical wine that you drink. The wine is the doctrines, the wicked doctrine. Remember Noah, he got drunk when he was setting up that vineyard. That means he added something wicked to that ministry. And he was drunk. Okay? He was drunk on a doctrine that he wasn't supposed to be teaching. That's what's happening with Lot and his daughters. His daughters are thoughts in his mind. A woman is a doctrine. A woman is a doctrine. So now after he just opened up this church, remember before they laid down, whenever he was in Sodom, now it's talking about his daughters getting him drunk and laying down. Come, let us make our father drink wine. That's a doctrine. And we will lie with him, and we may that we may preserve seed. Seed is the word. All right. That we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she rose. Whenever these people teach this thing, right, they look at it literal, and they think that Lot is actually having sex with his daughters, right? But it's saying his daughters are doctrines in his mind. He's beginning to believe these wicked doctrines he came up with. That's what that's telling you. He laying down just like that woman, that wife of that Egyptian, told Joseph to come lie with her, meaning come believe this doctrine. That's what's happening with Lot. He's starting to believe the wicked doctrines that he coming up with. Y'all see that? All right. And verse 34, and it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight, that means some ignorance going on, with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. That's why people don't believe the Bible anymore, because people don't know how to teach it. The Most High ain't saying that Lot's daughters raped him. That's not what it's saying. It's saying them daughters in his mind. He lying with them. He believing these thoughts that he making up, these doctrines that he's making up. He's believing them. That's what he's telling you. All right. So, verse 35, and they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. And the same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Ben-Ami. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. So now if you would believe that, you would think that it's saying that he physically had sons of his daughters, right? You know, the Most High, he gives you genealogies and all that other stuff. Y'all notice it ain't giving no genealogies of Lot's sons and all that other stuff, because it didn't happen like that. Remember, a son is a follower, right? A father is a teacher. What it's telling you is Lot created two doctrines. And the people of Ammon and the people of Moab follow that doctrine. That's what it's telling you. The people of Moab and the people of Ammon follow that religion that Lot created. That's what it's telling you. Now I'm about to prove it to you. Now, this is a very famous person started following those doctrines. We're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1. You have to be able to put the Bible together. The Most High is telling you something. You have to listen to what he's saying. Verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women. A woman is a doctrine. A woman is a doctrine. Remember that. Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites. Women are doctrines. Women are doctrines. Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites. It's actually telling you he was following the doctrines of all of those nations. Remember, Solomon went into idolatry. Verse 2. Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them. When the Most High is talking about laying down with those nations, he's talking about laying down with their gods. In Exodus 20, he says, thou shalt have no other God before me, because he's a jealous God. He considers you serving a different God as fornication. That's what that's talking about. It ain't talking about having real sex. All right? I'm not saying that Solomon didn't have a bunch of wives, but that ain't what this talking about. This is talking about something different. It's something deeper, just like that brown sugar. He telling you something. Listen carefully. Verse 2. And of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, thou shalt not go in to them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. Solomon was a very smart man, and he loved knowledge. That's why he talked about vanity and vexation. Okay? He tell you about those don't get caught up in many books, because he learned a whole lot of stuff and it took him away from the Most High. That's what this is telling you. This is how he got into sin. He was learning about other gods and it overtook him. He started believing it. Verse 3. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. He was following a lot of doctrine. A woman is a doctrine. The wives are doctrine. We about to prove it. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his God, and as was the heart of David his father. Right? For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians. That was one of his wives. The Zidonian religion. He was following the goddess of the Zidonians. He was following Ashtaroth. And after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. That's one of those daughters. The doctrines that Lot created. He telling you, these are the doctrines Lot created. The abomination of the Ammonites. Ammon. The name of one of his doctrine was Moab. The other doctrine was named Ammon. That's what it's telling you. And they had sub-doctrines up under that. But these were the major doctrines of Ammon. Right? And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place to Chemosh, the abomination of Moab. That's a doctrine that Lot created. That's what that's telling you. That's a doctrine that Lot created of Moab. Chemosh. Lot created that. In the hill that is before Jerusalem. And of Moloch, the abomination of the children of Ammon. Moloch is one of the doctrines that Lot created. Y'all see that? And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which appeared unto him twice. Y'all see that? So the story of Lot's daughters raping him is not talking about him committing incest. It's talking about Lot creating and believing in two primary doctrines. One that's followed to this day by Ammon, and the other one followed by Moab. That's what that means. All right? So, don't get caught up in the carnal understanding of what the Bible's saying. If you get the carnal understanding, it's going to leave you astray. If you believe that Lot was raped by his daughters, right? If you believe that the Most High said that the men in Sodom and Gomorrah were actually homosexual, right? You don't understand what it's saying spiritually. All right? If you believe that that's what happened carnally, you can't get the kingdom. If you believe what happened spiritually, then you have information that can help you kill the old man, that can help you when you get ready to leave one of these wicked camps, one of these wicked cults, one of these wicked churches. If not, you're going to make the mistake that Lot made. Then you're going to initially believe the understanding that you learned in that cult or in that church. Then you're going to take what you learned and then it's going to adjust itself and you're going to come up with a bunch of wicked doctrines. That's what the Most High is telling you. If you can see that coming and avoid it, you can get the kingdom. If you can't see it and you go out, you leave this cult, start your own cult, teaching the same thing this cult teaching, and then you start adjusting the understanding of this wicked doctrine, you can't get the kingdom. If you go leave this cult, take the understanding that you receive from this cult, start your own church up, then you start adding things, new doctrines to the cult that you learn, you're doing exactly what Lot did, and you cannot be redeemed. You have to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You have to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Those are the parables. Those are the similitudes. Those are the allegories. It's a story within a story, like brown sugar. It ain't talking about a black woman. It's talking about heroin. I hope you've enjoyed this class, right? We're going to be continuing to give you more understanding of what the Bible is saying spiritually versus carnally. All right. We're going to continue to bring forth and dispel all these notions and these lies that these people are telling you. They don't understand what the Bible is saying, so they tell you a lie. Or they heard a lie from this guy. They didn't go and research to see whether or not it's telling the truth. All right. So, again, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. All right. And with that, I bid you shalom.